I genuinely was like, oh, because you might have been talking about Oscar, Ragz, Benji for you two, yeah, me especially. You might have been talking about it for a minute. So it's like, and I know musically you man ain't wild. Well, Peter is, but I know you're not wild. So I was like, cool, let me see. And nah, honestly, it made me, because I went to go listen to Benji. I've listened to a couple of Oscar songs just off the back of. Now I need to catch up. Like, I need to.
What's going on, world? This is the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast coming to you with your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed,
Yo.
and myself, Yemi. We're here today to review MINIKINGZ's debut mixtape, ICONICY. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast on YouTube and hit that bell so that you're notified whenever we drop these exclusive album reviews, whenever we drop episodes, whenever we drop segments. And yeah, tell a friend about the pod. Very much appreciate it. But now to the review. We are reviewing MINIKINGZ's debut mixtape, ICONICY. Now, MINIKINGZ are a collective of rappers, singers, and producers composed of Benjiflow, Oscar Worldpeace, Ragz Originale, Rxlls and E-Whizz. They each have their respective careers either as artists or as producers, and they have now come together as a collective for their first project. They're very much either related or like best friends that grew up together in North London. So they go way back, and they've now come together on their debut mixtape, ICONICY. Now, on this mixtape, production is handled by all of the members and has guest appearances by the likes of Knucks, Nippa, YT, and Bawo. And yeah, MINIKINGZ, I feel like we've spoken about MINIKINGZ a lot on the pod generally. They're friends of the pod. They're just very, very dope individual artists, whether they're singing with Benjiflow, whether they're rapping Oscar Worldpeace, or they're doing a bit of both, Ragz. Very cool guys as well. And yeah, man, they teased this mixtape for a long ass time. People were wanting it, people were fiending for it, and now it's here. It's about 25 minutes, about 10 tracks, and the time has come for us to review it. And we'll start with P.
Well, yeah, nah, man. I had big expectations for this, man, just because I'm a big fan of Oscar Worldpeace, Ragz, and Benjiflow, like as solo artists, man. So I think in my mind, like I had an idea of what I thought this thing might sound like. I mean, when I heard New Skincare, I was like, yes, this is what the fuck I'm talking about, bruv. This is what I'm talking about.
This guy raised his voice.
Because this is kind of what I expected, even though like, I couldn't quite hear it. So when I heard that, I was like, yeah, man. And I saw the video, I was like, yeah, this is fucking wavy, man. These men are wavy. Listening to like Benji kind of like flow a little bit, I was kind of surprised by that, just because when it comes to him, he's more on like, you know, the melodic thing, innit? Do you know what I mean? But he had a verse on by Oscar and Ragz as well, so it shouldn't be too surprising. But even still, I think listening to this project, I didn't expect to hear him maybe rap and flow as much as he did. And maybe I'll start with what I didn't like so much. I would have loved to have heard more melodies from him. I didn't feel like I got enough of that from him. I think overall I did enjoy it, man. I did enjoy it. I definitely had like big expectations, so that might have affected how I heard it. And based on my first listen, because I actually was able to listen to this more than once, I didn't like it off the first listen, man. I think I was a bit disappointed. But then when I listened to it the second time, I was like, yeah, nah. I really enjoy this, man. I think for me, Ragz shone the most on this, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. I think he just sounded slick on this whole thing from beginning to end, man. And Oscar as well. Not to say that Benji and the rest didn't do their thing, but I think for me, when I heard them, I was like, yes. You know what I mean? I want to hear more of them sort of thing, innit? But yeah, overall, man, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't, I don't think it's in line with what they do so as a solo artist. I think it more felt like vibey type shit.
I think it's more in line with what Oscar and Ragz do, because more often than not, Oscar's rapping over Ragz production or E-Whizz production, so it's kind of the same, versus Benji, who's kind of more out there in terms of who he picks for beats and stuff.
It still kind of felt, I don't know if I agree with that. It still kind of just felt a bit more vibey than what I'm usually used to from them. Yeah. Not to say I didn't like it. I loved it because it was still wavy to me. But I don't know. It just wasn't what I was expecting. But I did like it though. I definitely liked it, man. I thought the first 5-6 songs were very strong, man. Do you know what I mean? Like from the transition from New Skincare to Iced Out Summer
Fam?
was mad.
Fam?
That was mad.
Fam?
Bro. That was so mad. And I really enjoyed I'm Not Gallus.
Yeah, I bet.
I fucked with that a lot, man. But overall, yeah, man, I really enjoyed it, man. Do you know what I mean? I probably expected a bit more, but I did enjoy it for what it was, for sure.
You got what you wanted.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, I think with this project, I mean, I love this project. I had the pleasure of listening to it before it came out, and I was like, New Skincare and Iced Out Summer, those were my tunes, and I knew when they would drop, yeah, they were gonna shut a lot of stuff down. Because, like you said, like if you want a taste of the MINIKINGZ sound, you put on New Skincare.
Yeah,
that is what that is. I think it's Ragz on the production or E-Whizz, and it's basically the synopsis of what MINIKINGZ represents, just in terms of the swag, just in terms of like the atmospheric vibe and all that. Like it's just dope, and you know the quotables and stuff. And then Iced Out Summer, yeah, man, song of the summer for me.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, man, that is a banger.
I don't think it's better than New Skincare, you know.
It is for
You
me.
reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
I personally prefer New Skincare, but
I hear it. I don't think you're wrong.
Oscar was chatting on that.
I don't think you're wrong to select either, but for me, production wise, Iced Out Summer for me.
it's them two for me. Like best song on the album. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. So I think New Skincare especially, Iced Out Summer as well, as far as like the MINIKINGZ sound. But yeah, man, I really like this album, man. I think it gave everyone a chance to shine, whether it was like E-Whizz on Lust, whether it was Rxlls on Plotting, and I think Rxlls produced that one as well.
Yeah, he killed Plotting.
Yeah, he killed Plotting.
Yeah, he
the
killed
way
Plotting.
the way they put in Pain is the Essence.
Yeah.
Come on, man, we'll be doing it. We'll be doing it. They all played their part, and I feel like for me, it wasn't a project necessarily to like. And this is the thing with like collective albums or like group albums. You don't really take them as seriously as you would like a solo album, because conceptually, it's not going to be as linear. It's more or less like them guys having fun and just showing off their skills, which is what I took this for. So when I see Oscar kind of swagging out a little bit more, when I see Ragz swagging out a bit more, rapping, when I see Benji rapping, when I hear Rxlls doing this thing, you know, Knucks with a quick like 8 bar, you know, Nippa like his like 4 bar was like dope as well. Bawo doing what he did. I think for me, in terms of just like vocal performance, for me it was Oscar.
Oh yeah,
Oscar shone the most, man. I feel like lyrically, he was doing the most, man.
Yeah. What do you say? You say right hand on my Browning's
Right.
thigh.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, man, talk that shit,
What if
bro.
5 fingers say to face? Like, yeah, man, he was on one, man. He was on one. He really and he produced. I think he produced Ed.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, we producer.
Yeah, he produced that. I think if it wasn't Ragz and Benji on a tune or E-Whizz, it was either Rxlls or Oscar that produced.
Right.
So they all had their hand in both rapping, singing, and producing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, for me, like it was so dope, man.
It was nice, it was short, concise.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Vibey,
It was sweet.
Bangers for the summer.
Music for the summer,
Yeah, man. Does what it says on the tin, man. Does
know
what it
I
says
mean?
on the tin.
Yeah.
And it kind of just proves that whenever Oscar, Benji, and Ragz in particular combine on a tune, yeah, man. Like you got New Skincare, you got Iced Out Summer. These man can't lose when they're together, man. And I think the sound generally is just very, very exciting, man. Like we often have the conversation of like, why aren't they bigger? And I suppose it's a hard question, but for those that know, like you know that these guys are like it's making some of the most exciting music in the UK scene, at least for me anyway.
And I think their sound collectively, I don't think there's anybody else that sounds like them as well, man. It's like they've created their own little sound that like encompasses people like Knucks as well. He's kind of in that bubble
Miles
as well,
from
and
Kinshasa.
Bawo as well, and
Samwise.
Miles as well. Do you know what I mean? They've got their own little collective, their own little world, and you know what I mean, they're not really affected by what's happening out there.
Exactly.
It'll be quite interesting to find out from them how they feel about their position within the UK scene, man. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I would have loved to hear Benji sing a bit more though. That's my only thing.
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean?
I
I can understand why it may not fit as much, but I still would have loved to have heard it.
No, I hear you. But how would you feel if I told you that when I first heard it, it was actually song 1 that was the first tune?
Oh, is it?
That then went to New Skincare, that then went to Iced Out
No, I
Summer.
prefer Yo.
You prefer Yo to
Yeah,
start?
like the first when I saw this is my backstory. Sorry, this is my introduction to all of these, man.
Oh, what? So you haven't heard any solos?
No. This is This is my introduction to.
With
all
as
of
much
these
as we were banging Benji, like
pride,
in that.
pride is the devil. But I don't know why.
Maybe like Ragz Brush You, bro.
What did you say?
Ragz Brush You. He's got a song called Brush You.
Bro, this was my introduction to these, man. I can't like full like this was my introduction. And I remember as I'm listening to Yo, because the way I do it is I try to do the first listen, then note, then second listen, and I'll do the notes with the second listen. And that's kind of how I always do it off. But I remember listening to Yo, I was like, nah, like the first word that came to me was like, yo, this is refreshing. Like I haven't heard a sound like this in the UK for a minute. Like I'm not. There's different man singing, there's man rapping, and it's just interchange. I don't even know who's who at this point, by the way. Like I don't know who's who. Like I don't know if that's meant to be embarrassing. I don't know, but I generally these man are Iniesta, Xavi, everyone just moving all over the place, innit? So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm genuinely like, okay, you man have me locked, and I was like, I'm paying attention now, innit? Then I heard New Skin. I was like, these are taking a piss. That's the one I was like, nah, these are... Straight away I went on YouTube just to see if they've got a video, because I was like, all right, visually these motherfuckers are going to start making sense to me. No one bro, yeah, I promise you this was genuinely what I done. So I was like, all right, cool. Visually, I need to start seeing everyone's face so this can make sense. So then I'm like, cool. And then when Iced Out Summer came on, I was like, yo, this is the best tape of the UK. Like 3 songs in, I was like, I don't know a UK album 3 songs in. I was like, fuck. Like, them
This
2
year?
songs, I was, what?
This year.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, it's a lot going on here. Like, I genuinely, and I'm not so, you man know me, I'm not someone that's, I wouldn't say I'm someone that's moved as quick as I am in terms of when it comes to new artists. It generally takes time for them to grow on me. But I was like, yeah, this is fully refreshing. I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I was saying it to you earlier. Like, it gave me a sense of something I haven't felt before in the UK recently. And that's a hard feeling, because you know what you're expecting. Do you know what I mean? You know, every review done so far, we kind of knew what we was getting from that rapper. And this was the first album it's blanket to me. Like, I already knew Miss Banks. I already knew what she raps. This was just, I was a blank canvas. And sonically, musically, productionally, yo, these men are one. Like, these lot are one. And sonically and musically, the way they're different to the rest of the UK scene, but they're still hip-hop, is... No, I honestly, I was amazed. Like, genuinely, and I'm not even just saying that lightheartedly. Like, I genuinely enjoyed the shit out of this album. Oscar Worldpeace was the MVP to me. Just because of the way he was barring, I can't lie. Do you know what it is? It's just the way he was sliding on songs. He wasn't even doing too much. He wasn't even bar heavy. It was just, he was genuinely just sliding on songs.
That's what surprised me though, because I'm used to like, I feel like he's a barer, but he was so like,
he was gliding
with it. Do you know what I mean? It was very accessible. And to see, to hear him be able to do that from like No White God to this, do you know what I mean?
He's got a song called No White God. Yeah. I'm gonna check all of these man out again, by the way. Like,
do you know what I mean? But to go from that to like this is like, do you know what I mean? I love the range.
Even when he was doing melodies on song 1,
fam,
I was like, okay, Oscar.
Like, I genuinely was like, oh, because you might have been talking about Oscar, Ragz, Benji for you two, yeah, me especially. You might have been talking about it for a minute. So it's like, and I know musically you man ain't wild. Well, Peter is, but I know you're not wild. So I was like, cool, let me see. And honestly, it made me, because I went to go listen to Benji. I've listened to a couple of Oscar songs just off the back of, now I need to catch up. Like, I need to, like, I don't want to keep hopping on, but like, I won't go back to Miss Banks' music, if that makes sense, because I'm like, I feel like this is her peak. Like, this is when, with these lot, I feel like they've been doing this. Does that make sense? Like, they haven't reached a new level. This is who they are. Does that make sense? So I feel like, if this is who you man are, and this is man who consistently been, I owe it to myself to double back and check what you man been doing. Right. It's not like a rapper that's come and this is his best season, so whatever you've done previously, it is what it is. I genuinely feel like they didn't make this tape by fluke. They're just a talented group of people. Yeah. So, and the chemistry and the charisma just oozes out of this tape. It's out of the world. Like, you can tell they're dogs. It's out of this world. They spend a lot. Yeah,
the chemistry.
Like, the ad-libbing in between. Fam, the way they're gliding, it's mad. Yeah. It's mad. Nah, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Salute to you. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Yeah, I think the only flaw for me is that, because obviously I listened to it before and song 1 was the first one, and I feel like that flowed much better into New Skincare and Iced Out Summer. But I'm not mad at Yo being the first tune. Yeah. I was at the start of it, but now not so much. Yo grabs your attention, innit? Yo, if you're a new listener, it makes you think, what's going on? It genuinely does make you think, yo, I ain't heard something like this before. Yeah. What did you guys think of Don't?
I didn't like Don't.
You didn't like Don't?
No, I didn't like
That's not lie.
You know what? On first listen, I didn't like it, but now it's grown on me. I think the not gonna end without gets a bit grating after a while. Yeah. But Oscar on that and YT on this and Ragz as well, and all of them really. I think they did bits on it.
I think Don't Tuna Roll and Ed were the ones that I probably won't go back to. Like
Fair.
the first 6, 7, yeah.
They were hitting after hitting
Yeah,
after hitting.
yeah.
How many listens did you give it?
And 2.
P? Yeah, me.
Like 6, 7.
Yeah. You had it for a while, innit?
I've had it for a
you
while.
had it for a
I think I've gone back to this about. This is the one I went to the most out of all the reviews. I've been to it about 3-4 times now. About 3 times now. 3. Yeah, I just couldn't do once. Even when I was listening to the first, I was like, I need to double. Like I want to double back on this.
Yeah.
Like UK music, it don't sound like this. It don't, especially a group, a collective. Let me not say group.
And I think that's the best possible compliment you can give it. Like, they don't sound like anybody else.
They don't,
And no
bro.
one else sounds like them.
And they're not trying, if that makes sense. They're not trying too hard. They're not trying to be different. It just is natural to them. And Oscar was, he was gliding, man. No, he was
Don't
gliding.
overlook what Ragz was doing on the
No,
team.
Ragz was, don't get me wrong, Ragz and Benji, they all went, but bro, there were certain tracks that Oscar was just,
I feel you.
bro, that brother was moonwalking on some songs. I can't lie to you, fam. I'm not gonna lie. He was moonwalking on some songs. I can't lie.
Yeah, I think Ragz, I've always kind of seen Ragz as kind of more of the complete package out of all of them.
Yeah.
But Oscar,
Fam?
Yeah, bro.
He's staking
he
his
can
claim.
rap.
Fam,
He can rap,
he's
bro.
taking his
Fam,
claim.
he's
He
gliding.
can,
rap, man.
he can clearly produce as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he can bust a melody out if he wants to. So I think generally they're all quite complete musicians coming in to a collective as complete musicians and giving you a body of work like this. And it's really dope to hear and see, man.
I want to pay attention to E-Whizz as well, man, because I didn't really know
he's
much
dope,
about him as a producer. But like hearing what he produced on this, it makes me feel like I've heard some of his stuff in the past.
Mainly, he does most of Oscar's work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
He's one of my favorite producers out right now, as far as UK. He was dope.
Yeah, he deserves a salute as well.
Salute to him.
Yeah, man. And him and Ragz are brothers.
I swear.
Like blood brothers.
Oh, raw.
Yeah.
Where is up north are they from? What part of
I
north?
don't know. I don't actually know.
I think Oscar's from Tottenham, you know.
He might be,
I think he's from Tottenham.
Well, okay. Skepta gave him a shout out on a space.
He's from Tottenham. That's like my accident. Like we do this by accident. Like we do this by accident.
Don't touch
Like
me.
Tottenham just, this is normal for us.
Ooh.
I don't know why I'm shy. Look at you.
Who's your favourite member of MINIKINGZ? I think mine's Ragz.
Oh, it's
For
either,
OG Lullaby alone,
it's either Ragz or Oscar.
Right now,
Yeah. It's
I
a
think
tie.
Ragz or Benji.
It's a tie.
Just because I'm really into melodies and that. Do you know what I mean?
of course you
And I
are.
feel like they do that very, very well.
100%. They kind of all do.
I'm looking forward to double back on their stuff though. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely.
this is just the beginning.
But I'm so
You
happy
go to the
that
old stuff.
I'm so happy I've got
There's a lot.
a collective.
There's a lot out there. Oscar's got like 4 projects. Ragz has got like 4 projects. Benji's got 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got a lot.
I'll go back to the last 2 each.
Yeah, man.
And
You
see,
enjoy it.
yeah,
You enjoy it,
yeah. No, honestly, like
And the tune that has the project that has No White God in it is called IC3.
swear, I really like him.
I think that was like my only project that I'd heard from him.
Really?
Well, that might be my first one, in fact.
The more you
It's not my only one because I heard Sporadic.
He's got Recluse.
IC3 was the first one.
Yeah, Recluse, IC3,
Yeah.
Sporadic, His and Hers.
Yeah.
And then Ragz has got Texture X,
Yeah.
Nature,
Yeah.
Whoa. And then Benji's got Benergy and The Thrill.
Now I'm gonna double back, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. I genuinely am looking forward to it. Them men are solid.
Yeah, man.
They done a very good
Big
job.
up.
They done a very good job, man. You can't ask for more.
100%.
Short, concise, everything to the point. And it was jiggy.
Very.
It was jiggy. That's the word I want to use.
And that's the perfect way to end it.
It was
Yeah,
jiggy.
man.
It was jiggy.
Jiggy Brothers.
Jiggy
That's
brothers.
it, man.
Well, salute to the Jiggy Brothers MINIKINGZ. Dope project, and looking forward to hearing what comes next out of the camp as a collective and also as individuals. Big up, man, all day. And yeah, we're going to wrap up this review here. So thank you very much for watching. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Peace.
Peace.
Safe.